I doubt if I was at their family, I was sitting at the dinner table with them, and that's the way that they principles was. Man, just imagine what I would have to compromise. I would have to compromise my own belief system to sit up here and agree with them on something that they weren't right. Like, just imagine if I was married to their daughter, right? You know what I'm saying? And if they think that's the way it go, just imagine if I was with their daughter and I had children with their daughter. Just imagine how far I would have to compromise my own value system to listen to that garbage that they talking about. You know what I mean? I mean, I can expect to go over there and they talking basically that he's inhumane, he's a monster, you can run over him, you can do anything to him. You can still date your ex-boyfriend, you can make out with your high school sweetheart. You give that Negro the minimum. That's what you do. And if you have any problem out of him, you know what I'm saying, we'll handle that for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I tell you right now, and I don't hate white people, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I got done wrong by Negroes before I did white people. You know, Negroes took me to the white man and said, handle him. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I'm not mad at white people, but I'm just saying, when you're wrong, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? If you're wrong, you're wrong. You know? Like I said, though, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be racist, though, if you have a racist frame of mind, you see what I'm saying, though? You see how wrong that is? Like, well, shit, my daughter can have anything that she wants to have, and she can do anything she wants to do, even if it's putting you in the tree or goddamn sanitizing your monkey ass and cutting your lips off down to size and give you a Michael Jackson nose, because we don't value you. You know, it take 3 or 4 of you to make a man. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say like that. It's just reality, man. That's just something that you just can't erase, you know, because your daughter dated a football player. It's true. You know what I mean? If your daddy think like that, that's the way he think. I mean, he not gonna change it just because Jenny's dating a baller. That man still don't like the baller, man. You know what I mean, she just don't. I mean, he don't have to. That man don't have to compromise to you. I'm sure not finna let nobody younger than me dictate to me how things going. You know what I'm saying? You just came on this planet. I'm not, just because you cute and you think you're young, you don't control me. You know? Your value system is nothing compared to mine. I'm not finna let no spring chicken tell me how things go in the time of day. Hell no. I'm just telling you reality. You know what I'm saying? Your daddy not finna stop being racist because you like a ball player. You know what I'm saying? He still feels the same way that he did back in the days. You know? He probably told you, you know, it'd be better off if you dated Adam or probably Barf or something like that. You know, he didn't necessarily tell you that you couldn't, but he advised you that you'd probably be better off. You know what I'm saying? If you dated Barf or, you know, or Billy. I'm just being honest, lady, now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, like, right now, like, to live in Brighton Estates, it's just not a good time to live out there. If you're white, they're like, all the other white people looking at you, what are you still doing out there in Brighton Estates? I tell you, everybody don't have enough money to move out of Brighton Estates. You still probably have about 13% white people out there. They just don't have the money to leave. Man, cigarettes are expensive, ladies. Man, so people that smoke 4 packs a day, ladies and gentlemen, $20 a day times 30, ladies and gentlemen. Man, 20 times 7, ladies and gentlemen, is $140. 4 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. That's almost $600 in cigarettes alone. How the hell you gonna move out of Brighton Estates and you smoke $600 up every 30 days? Just cigarettes. I'm not talking about your opioid. I'm not talking about your Budweiser. That's just cigarettes. You're not making enough money out there you can't really afford to smoke them kind of cigarettes. Well, how the hell you want that white lady to move from out there? She don't have enough money to move out. She just got to deal with the environment that's out there now. You know what I mean? It's not the way it used to be. You know? And I tell you, like, it's sad, but it's true. You know, I can just imagine, lady, if I was you, you had went ahead and you married that man's daughter. He didn't tell that. He did not advise you to marry that guy, but y'all married anyway. But if you can understand body language and facial expressions, you would have known that that man was trying to tell you, don't do it, son. Don't do it. Even though he tried to be friendly as he could be, he was saying, please don't marry my daughter. You know what I mean? He was trying to say they got enough problems. They have enough problems dealing with their own family situation. And you're going to bring a whole nother dynamic in there. Like, I'm talking about you bringing a whole nother set of values. To them, it don't seem organized. It don't seem like you're very organized. Your mama and daddy, they not together. You know, your last girlfriend, you had a baby, and y'all not together. You're going to bring your other baby into this relationship. That's going to make your baby mama child is going to be cousins with your wife. They don't look the same, but look, you see all the things they got to explain to the children? Well, the children going to say, why do that baby look like that, though? Because, ooh, they got a lot of explaining to do. Why do that baby look like that? But nevertheless, like, I tell you, to me, it don't bother me, like, but I'm telling you, it's just something to think about, like, it's something to think about, you know. I know people, I don't know, like, if I was you, I'd be saying, you know, people walk by slow and they put on their caution lights and hazard lights, like, don't do that. I do the same thing when it's raining outside. I'm like, don't ride by that fast and splash that H2O on me from the rain, but they do it, you know what I'm saying? I say, hey, hey, turn your music down, I'm recording. Do they obey? No, they don't. They do their own thing. I told you a long time ago, get rid of gas Malzahn. Did you do it? No, you didn't. I told you at the beginning of this year and last year, if you want to win, you need to get rid of Gus. Did you listen to me? No, you didn't. Now look at the situation you're in. Now you mad at me. You mad at me, and I told you need to get rid of the dude. I told you exactly how it needed to go, but you held on to him anyway. I told you that Gus Malzahn is the ultimate heartbreaker. I say he know how to break your heart better than anybody. He'll lead you all the way. He'll take you all the way to that threshold, like he about to put a ring on it and marry you. And then he say he can't do it. You know what I mean? I thought about it, not gonna be able to do it. You know what I mean? I'm talking about he'll get out there and get all that arrangement, David's bridal, and he'll get all the designs, and he'll get all the bridesmaids together, and they'll go to rehearsal, all that. And then on the day of the wedding, hello, this is Gus Malzahn. I'm going to leave a message on your phone because I want to talk to you. That's why I push pound so it goes straight to your voicemail. I'm not going to be able to marry you because something else going on is a little more important to get married. And like now, that's after I'm talking about he done got in there and recruited you, trained you, fed you, tour-a-days. Oh, baby, postseason, preseason. He done just got you conditioned like nobody business. Training camps, Under Armour, everything. Auburn, everything, everywhere, like, you know. Then took you and wined you and dined you. Then took you to every place on campus, off campus. And then when it was time to put a ring on that thing, he said he just couldn't do it. He couldn't put the ring on it. He showed you the ring, too. He shows you the championship ring. And then when he was supposed to put it on your finger, he couldn't do it. Why? Because he was trained to do that. He's a professional. He know how to do it better than anybody. You know what I mean? He really does. He almost better than Jerry Jones. Like, and tell him that Dallas is going to win next year. Y'all got us this year, but Dallas gonna win next year, baby. Going to the Super Bowl. Woo! Dallas going to the Super Bowl next year, though, baby. Woo! You can't stop it. Yeah, you got the best of us this time. Yeah, you did. You did win that game. But next year ain't that stopping Dallas from going to the Super Bowl. Woo! Trying to say. That's the same thing that Gus Malzahn do. I'll tell you, lady. Yes, Army fans. At least you have Ricky Smiley, you know what I'm saying? Ricky Smiley, you know, the Nazis ran him out of Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, and now he's in Montgomery. He think it's safer here because people told him that it's a lot of Rainbow Coalition push in Montgomery. And they said he was trying to get away from North Alabama and all the Nazi activity, and he moved here to 97.9 jams. Lady. Because they caught up with him, they found him, lady. They listened to their song, they was trying to find out who made that song. And they found him up there, and he came to Montgomery, lady. And he said he want to make this place his home. Lady. Why? Because, lady, because there's a lot of rainbow activity. A lot of rainbow activity. He don't fear it, you know what I mean? Ricky Smiley, he don't fear Montgomery. That should tell you something. That he don't fear Montgomery. You know? That should tell a lot of people something like that. A lot of people don't fear Montgomery. You know? They don't. So I tell you people that do have stamina, you have anger, and you have a domestic problem, to focus more of your anger to other people. You have to distribute your anger. Don't focus all your anger on me. You know what I mean? Because I have you tomorrow, you won't say nothing. You know what I mean? You wake up in the morning and turn on the news, you won't have nothing to say to me. You'll say, he's the man. I promise you. In the morning when you turn the news on, you're going to say, man, Nardo ain't nothing to play with, man. He the man again. They hired him, you're going to say, yeah, the NFL put him right back. You know? They'll say, that man has been hired and fired more days in a row. They'll fire him and they'll hire him right back. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't find nobody to replace it later. They just can't, later. They can't find nobody to replace this lady, you know what I'm saying? You know, and if they do, they're gonna try to off them, you know what I mean? They find anybody like this, they try to ruin them before they get started, you know? You know, people search out talent to destroy it. Let's go do a talent search. Why are they doing a talent search? Because they're gonna tell you garbage, you know what I'm saying? They're going to find the talent, they're going to scout it out, they're going to search it out, they're going to take you to the big stage, and they're going to tell you to pack your bags and go home because you ain't good enough. You see what I'm saying? You see how the animal form goes, ladies? You see how the pig society is? That's what they do. They scout out talent. They scout it out to destroy it. They've been doing that since they started it. That's why they do it. They said they want the most talented people in the United States to meet up, to come out. You know what I'm saying? Here, take a ticket and show me. Turn the lights, camera, action on. Show us what you can do, ladies and gentlemen. And they tell you garbage. They tell you. And at the end of the day, they only tell one individual out of all them hundreds of thousands of people. They only tell one of them that they good enough to compete for $10,000. $10,000, man. Man, you could have made that probably in the time you've been trying out. You could have made that, still been at home and then skip one beat. You could have been on your same program and lose no sleep, no disappointment, no nothing. Could have still been friends with your significant other. But get what? They told you was going to Hollywood. You get what? You told your boyfriend you didn't want to talk to him no more. You ain't tell him like that. You told him you had something more important going on. You can't tell nobody. You went out there to Hollywood. They discovered that you had talent, and they sold it to somebody else. They found another agent. They used a different name. They took your talent from you and told you to go home because you ain't good enough. And they got somebody else doing your talent for you. See what I'm saying? They tell you to go back home because they know when you get back home, everybody else is going to crush you. They're going to crush you. They're going to say, oh, you went out there and you didn't make it, huh? Oh, you just like, oh, okay. See what they waiting on? They waiting on it. Come on back home so we can nurse you back to health. I ain't finna nurse you back to no health. They gonna tell you should have stayed at home from the get-go. You should have stayed at home. You went out there and let them folks tell you was something and you ain't nobody. You ain't